Warning, family, I've heard this song before, but I've never listened. This will be my first time listening to the Rolling Stones' I Can't Get No Satisfaction. I think it's just called Satisfaction. So I've heard it because I don't live under a rock. I mean, you hear this song everywhere from pool parlors, if you go bowling, if you go to the arcade, you have heard this song. But it's different to hear than to truly listen. I've never interacted deeply with the lyrics. And so this will be a first for me of a kind. I did a little bit of background research about the era, the I Can't Get No Satisfaction era for the Rolling Stones, and the stories are kind of like nuts. Like, apparently Keith Richards wrote the riff to this song half asleep, right? Like, like he wakes up one night because he has this thing in his head. He turns on a tape recorder and he plays it just to make sure he has it, and then he puts his guitar away and goes back to sleep. He said he woke up the next morning and had 12 seconds of brilliance and 40 minutes of snoring on the tape recorder. So one of the greatest guitar riffs in history is sandwiched between rim cycles. Like, that's proof of some kind of crazy noumena that we're not aware of. Another thing is Mick Jagger didn't like this song, which was nuts because the label was like, bro, this is fire. And so this accidental riff and this amazing song that Mick Jagger himself isn't satisfied with, ironically called I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Family, enough talking. Let's interact with the track deeply. Let's let him cook, please. Yeah, talk to me. Check this out, man. It's very simple. And this is kind of one of the reasons that Mick Jagger didn't like it. He said, it's too repetitive, right? But at the end of the day, isn't that the idea? When you can't get no satisfaction, don't you just kind of repeat the same thing, trying to kind of fill a void that you can't quite fill? That's what it means to not feel any satisfaction, to kind of repeat yourself. I think Einstein was the one who said insanity is repeating the same action over and over, expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity, right? Yeah, I definitely respect it. Go back a couple bars. Go ahead and let him cook. Action, 'cause I tried. Useless information used to fire up my imagination, right? Did Mick Jagger just predict doom scrolling before the age of doom scrolling? You know what I'm saying? And listen, what part of you is unsatisfied? It has to be the ego, right? That part of yourself, the self is an illusion anyway. All the self is your identities from your motivated expectation about the future and your memories about the past, right? Those things converge and become the illusion of this self, right? Like, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm a Knicks fan, Bears fan, whatever, right? You have all of these personas and identities that are unsatisfied, right? Because there's always something to strive for, and there's always some pain about it to remember, right? Respectfully. You know what is blasphemous about this song? One of the other Rolling Stone songs that we covered on this channel was Sympathy for the Devil. And kind of has a a blasphemous kind of title. Rolling Stones is just kind of playing with that edginess even kind of back here. But what's interesting is they're using a tambourine, right? Tambourines are traditionally a church sound, so it sounds kind of like a kind of a gospel-y celebration kind of religious sound, especially with that tambourine banging. But then the message is just talking about, a degree of carnality, where it's like, no matter how I try and I try and I try, I'm never really made whole by the things that I'm trying with. You know what I'm saying? Guys, do you notice the brittleness of his voice? I can't get no. He sounds exhausted, right? It's like, there's a little subtleties, right? Maybe that wasn't intentional, but it's like, if you really, really look at, this song in kind of a new lens, it is really perfectly executed. I love that line, right? He's like, after the Tide commercial comes the Marlboro commercial. It's like, look, he tries to tell me how white my shirts can be if I get this product, but I'm still not enough because I still don't smoke the same cigarettes as the Marlboro man, right? And then the next commercial, shows you that you're not enough if you don't have the new XYZ. We've built ourselves a culture where it's impossible to achieve satisfaction. It's not impossible. I mean, but it's it's kind of very rare. One of my hopes is that with like AI and everything, everyone will see what it's like to kind of have, all of that stuff firing at once. Hopefully the thing just eats itself and we kind of return to, what life was like back in the 90s, which was fire. Shout out to the 1990s. Shout out to Ren Gill, if you know what I'm talking about. And that is definitely taken from the church, just to let you know that did, it gave gravity to my theory that they're kind of going with the church angle with the tambourines. When he says, tell me what I say. That was what Ray Charles used to do. Tell me what I say. And the church got at him. He's like, look, this is church worship kind of stuff. Please relax, sir. It's no satisfaction. You see how he's saying no, 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 no. He's like, try this, try that, try that. And maybe that's kind of one of the things, right? Fill your mind with all of the things you've tried to use to satisfy yourself, to make yourself feel complete or whole. And just like, no, that didn't work. No, 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 no. There is no thing that works, right? Because things are going to be sensory objects, mental objects, and physical objects. Those things are not going to make you feel whole. It's going to be something more like the recognition that you are whole. It's internal work you have to do. And you're mistaking the external circumstances for an internal state of affairs, right?
Hey, hey, hey. That's what I say. I can't get no. I can't get no. I can't get no satisfaction. No satisfaction. No satisfaction. No satisfaction.
Man, that was fire. There's a part in 1984 by George Orwell where Winston, who's the main character, buys a paperweight from a gift shop. And this paperweight, it's like this clear thing, and it has kind of this pretty object in the center of it. It's a paperweight. And he thought it was beautiful because it was useless, right? He just found it in a corner store. It was just this old kind of relic that he bought for cheap. And he said he thought that it was beautiful because of how useless it was. And at first that's confusing. Why would something useless be beautiful, right? But it was because in 1984, Winston is in a setting where he's completely, monetized by the, not monetized, surveilled by the state. There's cameras everywhere. There are signs pointing at him saying, hey, Big Brother is watching you. So it's a kind of the setting is a dystopian future. But he's so surveilled and he's so treated as a means to some other end that he finds beauty in an object which is useless because he wishes that he didn't always have to be useful to some external end, right? But I don't know. I think that this is kind of the Rolling Stones warning to us. It's like, hey, if we keep treating humanity as a means to an end, we're going to find ourselves in a state of affairs where everyone is perpetually unsatisfied and seeking deeper and darker means of achieving that satisfaction until the whole thing collapses, obviously. But I've been talking too much. That one was dope. Family, what's next from the Rolling Stones? Let me know.